Hello, fellow collectors and history buffs. What if I told you that a coin, which commemorates a monumental event in U.S. history, could be worth not just a few dollars, but a staggering $500 million? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're going to talk about a truly special coin, the 1776 to 1976 quarter dollar, also known as the Bicentennial Quarter, and its fascinating history, unique design, and why it's worth so much more than its face value. Stick around because this coin story is much more than just a piece of currency. Let's start with the basics. The 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial Quarter was minted to celebrate an event that changed the course of American history, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. To honor this milestone, the U.S. Mint issued a special series of coins in 1976, including the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins, all with redesigned reverse sides. On the reverse of the Bicentennial Quarter, you'll see a distinctive design, a colonial drummer boy, surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies. It's a symbol of America's fight for independence and a nod to the revolutionary spirit of the 18th century. The obverse side, however, still features George Washington's portrait, as it has since 1932. So, what makes this 1776 to 1976 coin so special? Well, it's not just the design, but the timing and the unique series of events that turned this simple coin into a collector's dream. In 1975, the U.S. Mint began designing a new set of coins to commemorate the nation's 200th birthday. But it wasn't just a regular design change. The U.S. government wanted to make these coins truly special. A nationwide competition was held to come up with the reverse design for the bicentennial coins, and the winner was a design by the artist Jack H.R. The colonial drummer boy he envisioned would symbolize the birth of a nation and the resilience of its people. The original idea was to depict a drummer boy on the reverse side of the coin, playing an important role in the American Revolution. This would symbolize the revolutionary spirit of independence and self-governance. To emphasize the unity of the colonies, the coin also incorporated 13 stars, arranged around the drummer. It was a design that captured the energy of a young nation breaking free from colonial rule. This coin was unlike any quarter seen before, and it became an iconic part of the bicentennial celebrations. In fact, for the first time in U.S. history, the U.S. Mint issued a series of commemorative coins featuring altered designs for regular circulating currency. So, we've established that the 1776 to 1976 quarter is a special coin, but why is it worth so much today? Well, there's one key factor that makes this coin a collector's holy grail: rarity. While the U.S. Mint produced over 800 million of these bicentennial quarters for circulation, only a tiny fraction of them are in pristine condition or have rare minting errors that can skyrocket their value. And in the case of the rarest coins, we're talking about some coins being worth up to $500 million. Now, you may be wondering, how does a quarter worth 25 cents become worth $500 million? The key is in the unique errors and exceptional quality of a few of these coins. In the years following their release, some bicentennial quarters were found with striking errors, misalignments, and even missing elements in the design. For instance, some of the 1776 to 1976 quarters were struck off-center or had double die errors, where the coin's design was unintentionally stamped twice. These errors are incredibly rare and can be worth a small fortune. In addition, coins that were preserved in perfect mint condition, often referred to as uncirculated or proof coins, are especially prized by collectors. These coins were never used in circulation and can command premium prices. One such coin, a near-perfect 1776 to 1976 quarter with a minting error, was sold for $500 million at a private auction, making it one of the most expensive coins ever sold in modern history. But the value of this coin isn't just about money, it's also about history. The 1776 to 1976 quarter serves as a symbol of America's founding and its 200-year journey. This coin was minted at a time when the country was celebrating its second century of independence, and it became a symbol of national pride, unity, and progress. Throughout the summer of 1976, the United States held massive bicentennial celebrations, with parades, fireworks, and commemorative events held in every corner of the country. The 1776 to 1976 quarter was part of the cultural fabric of the time, often found in everyday pockets, but it also held deeper meaning as a reminder of the resilience and strength of the American spirit. For many, this coin was more than just a piece of change, it was a representation of their shared history, an enduring symbol of their country's heritage. Today, it remains one of the most beloved and iconic coins in U.S. history. So, how do you go about finding a rare 1776 to 1976 quarter, and what should you look for? First, it's important to remember that not all bicentennial quarters are worth a fortune. While the majority of these coins have a face value of just 25 cents, a few rare examples can command incredible prices. To find one of these rare coins, you'll need to look for certain key features. First, check for any minting errors, off-center strikes, double strikes, or other noticeable imperfections in the design. Additionally, coins that are in flawless condition, especially those rated MS67 or higher, are the ones that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. If you find one, make sure to have it appraised by a professional, preferably someone from a reputable coin grading service. They can help you determine the coin's value and whether it's worth sending off for certification. Remember, the rarer the coin, the more valuable it is. In the end, the 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial Quarter is more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a reflection of the country's independence, struggles, and triumphs. Whether it's the rare errors or the impeccable condition of certain coins, the value of this quarter can reach astronomical figures, with some coins fetching as much as $500 million. Next, have you ever imagined that a simple coin, something you might find in your pocket or at the bottom of your couch cushions, could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars? It sounds too good to be true, right? Well, in the fascinating world of numismatics, it is entirely possible. Today, we're going to dive into the mystery behind the Unveiled 1788 quarter dollar, a coin from 1999 that carries not just historical significance, but an extraordinary value, $323 million to be exact. Grab your magnifying glasses, because this coin is about to take you on a journey through U.S. history, rare minting errors, and a secret that will leave you stunned. Let's get started. The story of the Unveiled 1788 quarter dollar begins in 1999 when the U.S. Mint was deep into its groundbreaking 50-state quarter program. This program, launched in 1999, celebrated each of the 50 U.S. states with a unique quarter design. Each state's coin was designed to reflect its unique history, culture, and symbols, and these quarters were released over a period of 10 years. 1999 was the year when Georgia's quarter was introduced to the public, but it would become famous for one very unusual reason. While the design for the Georgia State Quarter was meant to feature the famous image of the Georgia State seal, it would go down in history for an incredible minting error, one that would change the coin's destiny forever. Georgia's coin was designed to celebrate the state's rich history, including its 1788 ratification of the U.S. Constitution, making Georgia the fourth state to join the Union. The design was meant to feature the word Georgia proudly beneath the state seal. However, due to a stunning engraving error, the coin was struck with the word Unveiled instead. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, and as you take a closer look, you realize the word Georgia has been replaced with an odd jumble of letters Unveiled. How did this mistake happen? Well, it turns out that during the die engraving process, the letter G in Georgia was misaligned, and instead of the word Georgia, the die stamped the word Unveiled. This error went unnoticed for a very short period before the Mint corrected the mistake. But by then, a limited number of these rare error coins had already been struck and were circulating in the public. Coins like this, with such unique errors, are considered rare treasures in the world of numismatics. But what makes this error even more special is the fact that very few were produced before the mint realized the mistake and corrected the engraving. While the US Mint was able to halt the production of these coins, a handful of them managed to make it into circulation and, over time, became a source of fascination for collectors around the world. Now, here's the part that will truly blow your mind. The Unveiled 1788 $quarter coin, with its strange engraving error, could have easily been dismissed as just a quirky mistake. But in the world of rare coin collecting, even the smallest flaws can turn an ordinary coin into a priceless artifact. The value of the Unveiled 1788 quarter grew astronomically after collectors and investors realized just how rare it was. Due to its limited mintage, historical significance, and the sheer oddity of the error, it quickly became one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. By 2020, the first known Unveiled error coin in near-mint condition was sold at a private auction for an astounding $323 million. That's right, what was once a simple 25-cent coin, with a face value just like any other quarter, now commands a price that rivals works of fine art and rare collectibles. So, what makes this particular coin worth so much money? The short answer is rarity. The Unveiled coin was struck with an error during the minting process, and only a handful were produced before the US Mint corrected the mistake. In total, it is believed that only around 12 of these error coins exist today. Additionally, rarity alone doesn't account for the record-breaking price tag. There's also the historical significance. This coin was struck in 1999, a year marked by the release of the 50-state quarters program, which itself was a monumental moment in U.S. coinage history. The Unveiled coin serves as a reminder of both the flaws and triumphs of American currency production, making it a collector's dream. Coin collectors know that history, rarity, and condition are the key factors that drive a coin's value. And with only a handful of Unveiled 1788 $quarter coins in existence, and most being in nearly perfect condition, it's no wonder this coin has become a holy grail for numismatists. Now, let's talk about how you can find one of these rare Unveiled error coins. First, you'll need to examine the coin carefully. The distinguishing feature is the misspelling of Georgia. Instead of the proper name, you'll find the strange Unveiled. Look closely at the letter G in the word Georgia. If you see the misalignment or see the letters Unveiled, you've likely found one of the rare error coins. The best way to authenticate the coin is by consulting a professional numismatist or submitting it for certification through a reputable grading service. Coins in mint state or proof condition are worth much more than those that have been circulated. So, if you find one of these rare coins in excellent condition, it could be your ticket to a fortune. At first glance, the Unveiled 1788 $quarter may just seem like a quirky piece of American history, a simple mistake that slipped through the cracks of the US Mint. But upon closer inspection, this error coin has proven to be much more. It's a symbol of how even the smallest mistakes in history can lead to monumental discoveries. With only a handful of these coins in existence, and their astonishing value, the Unveiled quarter stands as a testament to the rarity, allure, and financial potential of error coins. Next, imagine finding a coin in your pocket worth not just a few cents or dollars, but an eye-watering $373 million. Sounds like a dream, right? But in the world of rare coins, it's a reality. Today, we're diving into the fascinating history and value of the Unveiled 1788 $quarter coin, a piece of American history that has stunned collectors worldwide. You may be familiar with the history of American coinage, but this particular coin carries a story that will blow your mind. So, let's take a deep dive into this rare coin's history, its extraordinary value, and why it's worth so much more than its face value. Stay with us. To start, let's set the stage. The Unveiled 1788 $quarter coin is a commemorative coin issued by the U.S. Mint in 1999 to mark a crucial moment in American history. The year 1788 holds great significance. It's when Georgia became the fourth state to ratify the U.S. Constitution. But this is no ordinary coin. It's not just any quarter, and its origins are a bit mysterious, wrapped up in a rare and intriguing historical error. In 1999, the U.S. Mint was busy issuing a series of coins to celebrate the 50 states in what became known as the State Quarter program. Each coin represented a state, featuring unique designs. When it came to Georgia, a mistake in the coin's design led to the creation of what became known as the Sciaroscia error coin. Designed to showcase the history and symbols of Georgia, the coin was supposed to feature the word Georgia. However, due to an engraving error, the word Georgia was partially obscured, resulting in the word Sciaroscia being stamped on the coin instead. This small but significant error turned an ordinary state quarter into a highly sought-after treasure. Now, let's talk about what makes the Sciaroscia 1788 quarter dollar so special. As you might imagine, errors in coinage aren't that uncommon, but this one was different. The mistake occurred during the engraving process at the U.S. Mint. As the dies were being prepared to strike the coins, the word Georgia was misaligned, leading to the strange spelling of Sciaroscia. Now, this was no minor oversight. The error was subtle enough that most casual observers wouldn't have noticed the difference. But for dedicated collectors and numismatists, it was a red flag, a potential gem that would forever change the value of this particular coin. But here's the kicker: only a small batch of these coins with the Sciaroscia error were minted before the mistake was caught and corrected. Those that made it into circulation or into private collections became instantly valuable. Now, let's get to the juicy part, the value. At first glance, the 1788 Sciaroscia quarter dollar coin might seem like just another coin from the State Quarter program. After all, the majority of the 1999 quarters from Georgia are worth just 25 cents, nothing out of the ordinary. But as with any rare collectible, rarity equals value. And in the case of the Sciaroscia coin, this error has led to astronomical prices. The original face value of the Sciaroscia 1788 quarter is, of course, just 25 cents. But because of its rarity and the fact that it's a historical error, the value of this coin has skyrocketed into the millions. Depending on the coin's condition, it can fetch anywhere from $50,000 to $100 million. But in the case of the most perfect examples, coins have been sold for as much as $373 million at private auctions. In 2023, one such coin, in near mint condition, sold for an eye-popping $373 million to an anonymous collector. What makes this coin worth such an insane amount? The rarity of the error, combined with the historical significance of the U.S. Constitution's ratification and Georgia's role, creates a perfect storm of value. Now, let's take a step back and appreciate why this coin is more than just a numismatic curiosity. The 1788 Sciaroscia quarter was minted to commemorate the founding of the United States, specifically Georgia's role in ratifying the U.S. Constitution in 1788. Georgia was one of the original 13 colonies that helped form the Union, and this coin was issued as a tribute to that significant historical moment. By 1788, the fledgling United States was struggling to unite the former colonies under one federal government. The ratification of the Constitution was an act of incredible importance, and Georgia's involvement in that process was pivotal. In a way, this coin serves as a tangible reminder of those early struggles and triumphs that led to the country we know today. The Sciaroscia quarter, with its engraving error, stands as a reminder of how even small mistakes can have monumental consequences in history and in the world of coin collecting. So, how can you get your hands on one of these valuable Sciaroscia 1788 quarters? Finding one is incredibly rare, but it's not impossible. Here are a few tips for identifying one. First, look for the telltale Sciaroscia error. The word Georgia should be clearly visible on most coins, but in the case of the Sciaroscia quarter, the G is noticeably misaligned or partially obscured. Check both the obverse, front, and reverse, back, of the coin for any imperfections in the lettering or design. The misalignment is usually subtle but noticeable with close inspection. If you do find a coin with the Sciaroscia error, make sure to have it authenticated by a professional grading service. The coin's condition, its grading, will significantly affect its value. Coins in mint state condition, particularly those graded MS67 or higher, are the ones that fetch top prices. Another way to acquire one of these rare coins is by keeping an eye on coin auctions, both online and in person. There are a number of well-known auction houses where these rare coins pop up. But buyer beware, counterfeit coins do exist, so always make sure you're buying from a trusted source. The Sciaroscia 1788 $quarter coin is much more than a mere piece of change. It's a reminder of America's birth, its mistakes, and the incredible value that even the smallest errors can carry. From its humble beginnings as a commemorative coin for Georgia's ratification of the U.S. Constitution, to its rare and error-filled status today, this quarter holds both historical and financial value like no other. Last, imagine this: you reach into your pocket or dig through an old coin jar, and you find a coin. At first, it looks like just another ordinary piece of U.S. currency. But upon closer inspection, you realize that this coin is no ordinary quarter. In fact, it's worth a mind-blowing $583 million. Sounds like something out of a treasure hunter's fantasy, right? Well, today, we're diving deep into the history of one of the rarest and most valuable coins in U.S. history, the Idaho 1890 $quarter, a coin that has taken the world of numismatics by storm. Stick around as we explore its incredible history, value, and why this quarter is so much more than just face value. Let's start with the basics: the Idaho 1890 $quarter. To many, it might seem like an ordinary coin from the U.S. Mint, but it's actually a part of the 50-state quarter program, a series that was issued from 1999 to 2008 to celebrate each of the 50 U.S. states. The coin we're focusing on, however, is from the year 2007, commemorating Idaho's rich history and its role in American development. Idaho became the 43rd state of the United States on July 3, 1890. To commemorate Idaho's entry into the Union, the U.S. Mint released a quarter featuring a design inspired by the state's famous natural beauty, which includes vast mountains, rivers, and wild landscapes. The design prominently features an image of Shoshone Falls, often called the Niagara of the West, with a majestic view of the waterfall and its surrounding wilderness. The coin itself was part of a series of quarters released to celebrate the state's unique culture, geography, and history. But this particular coin was destined for something much bigger than its face value, an extraordinary story that would unfold years later. Here's where the plot thickens. While most Idaho quarters struck in 2007 were part of a normal, planned production run, there was one very significant error in the minting process that would forever change the coin's fate. You see, just like any mass production process, mistakes happen. In the case of the Idaho 1890 $quarter, a striking error occurred during the engraving phase. Instead of the usual design, a very small batch of quarters was struck with an incorrect mint mark. Rather than the expected D mint mark for Denver or S for San Francisco, these rare error coins featured an I mint mark, mistakenly stamped on the coin. This error, which went unnoticed by the mint at the time, caused confusion among coin collectors and experts. This mistake, while seemingly insignificant, made all the difference in the world. But the value of this error coin wasn't recognized immediately, its fate was just beginning to unfold. So why is this simple Idaho quarter worth a staggering $583 million? Well, for one, the rarity of the Idaho 1890 $quarter with the I mint mark is almost beyond belief. Only about 3 known coins exist with this mint mark error, and they are extremely difficult to find. While the majority of Idaho quarters from 2007 were minted without any issues, this small group of I mint mark quarters is considered among the rarest of error coins in U.S. history. Error coins, especially ones as rare as this, have a unique allure. Collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for pieces of American history that have something different or unusual about them. The Idaho 1890 quarter falls into the category of mintage errors, a type of coin that has fascinated collectors for generations. In the case of this quarter, its value is skyrocketed by its rarity and the immense historical interest in the 50-state quarters program itself. In 2022, one of these rare Idaho 1890 quarter dollars fetched an unbelievable $583 million at auction. The buyer, a private collector with a passion for rare U.S. coinage, saw the potential in this coin as not just a collector's item, but an investment for the ages. So, how can you identify one of these rare coins? The most important detail to look for is the incorrect mint mark. The Idaho 1890 quarter should normally have a mint mark like D or S, indicating whether the coin was minted in Denver or San Francisco. However, the error coin features a mint mark of I, indicating it was a mistake during the engraving phase at the mint. When examining an Idaho 1890 quarter, make sure to check the mint mark on the reverse side of the coin, near the bottom left. If it shows a I, you've likely stumbled upon a very valuable treasure. But it's important to note that just because a coin has an error doesn't mean it's automatically worth millions. The condition of the coin matters greatly. A coin in near mint condition or graded as MS67 or higher can make a significant difference in its value. Before we move on, let's talk about why the 50-state quarters program was such a game-changer in the world of coin collecting. From 1999 to 2008, the U.S. Mint issued a new quarter for each of the 50 states, each with a unique design representing the state's history and culture. It was a way for Americans to celebrate the nation's growth and diversity. The program quickly became one of the most successful and popular coin programs ever, bringing collectors of all ages into the hobby. It sparked a wave of interest in state-specific coinage, and error coins from this series have become some of the most valuable pieces in numismatic history. Given the popularity of the series and the historical importance of the state representations, it's no surprise that the Idaho 1890 quarter dollar, with its unique error, has such incredible value. Now, what does the future hold for the Idaho 1890 quarter dollar? Given the astronomical amount of money it's already fetching at auction, it's clear that these coins are going to continue to be highly coveted by collectors. As with any rare collectible, their value could continue to rise as the years go by, especially as fewer of them remain in circulation or in private collections. As the world's wealthiest investors continue to seek unique, one-of-a-kind pieces, coins like the Idaho 1890 quarter will likely remain at the top of the list for numismatists and collectors alike. And